Yes.
There you go.
Okay, you're on, Jim. Thanks for doing this.
Okay. I think we've got a good crew on board and we'll talk about it. It's coming up here in the first weekend in October. Starts on Friday night and goes into midday on Sunday. The basic objectives are for Nevada stations to work as many other stations anywhere in the world. And that on the HF bands, you can work somebody once per band per mode and only once on the VHF bands. We'll talk more about the VHF band restrictions here in a minute. Out of state hams, they want to talk to you in Nevada and that they can work as many Nevada stations as they want and they can be worked again for mobile rover stations. Can be worked when they change counties. You can work them on the three different modes, uh, voice, CW, or digital. And once on the VHF, UHF bands. And of course, the other objective is to have fun. It starts at 8 p.m. on Friday night. This was picked so you'd have a chance to get home, play with kids, have dinner, um, put them in the battery charger, i.e., put them to bed, and then get on the radio and start having fun. For those who are going to travel out area, it gives time from the end of work to make some treks across the state. It ends at 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Again, that's it gives you the afternoon, late afternoon, and evening to get together with the family again. For those of you driving back, you can take it easy getting back and getting home and unpacked and all that. So I was trying to do it. The other thing is it gives us two nighttime operational periods and two daytime operational periods. And that way we don't get hit with a solar storm and wipe one of them out. We still have the opportunity to talk to a lot of people. This has happened on a lot of contests recently, last couple of years. We've had the big solar events and nobody's making contacts with anybody. You don't have to work the entire contest. I mean, some of us will work a fair hunk of the hours during that time, but uh, the bud and share time is highly variable. You can work a couple hours, make some contacts, maybe come back the next day and work an hour or two. Great. The more people we get on various times, the better the success for everybody. If you're going to do multiple modes like CW, single sideband, digital, try to do some in each hour worked. Um, this makes it easy. We have a lot of requests for CW contacts. There's not that many folks out there doing it, but we'd be happy. And be sure to log all your contacts in UTC time. We don't log it at 8 o'clock or right now it's 7:15 Nevada time. No, we would do it as 0215 Nevada time. We're making a log right now.
You
This
mean
way,
02, you mean 0215 UTC, not Nevada.
yeah, UTC.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Uh, Barry, could you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Anyway, log all in UTC time, and we can have good contacts, because if it's 0215 here in Nevada, it's also 0125 in New York. It's 0125 in the morning tomorrow in beautiful downtown London, and so on. It's the same for everybody all the way, and this helps with logging. The exchange is really easy to do. Nevada stations will give a signal report and a county code. For instance, I'll be probably in Pershing County, so I will give out W6US 59 and NVPER, November Victor, Papa Echo Romeo, and that's Pershing County. In Nevada, all our counties are the first three letters of the county name, which makes it easy to remember. For instance, if Tony got on, he'd be W7XM 59 NV Charlie Lima Alpha, Clark County, Nevada. And he's down in Las Vegas. The rest of the US and the Canadian stations give a signal report and their 2 to 3 character abbreviation of their section. We're using ARRL and RAC sections. So somebody in Truckee, like AE36DH 59, Sacramento Valley, Sierra Victor, or a Canadian station, VE7ABC 59, British Columbia, BC. So use the standard 2 or 3 letter abbreviations put out by the ARRL and RAC, Radio Amateurs of Canada. DX stations just say DX. Now, a lot of them will have no clue that they're talking to somebody in Nevada contest. And if they have a definitely foreign contact, you can add the DX for them. Because quite often there's a inability to, with language, to get that point across. So, PX6QJ in Brazil would give you a 59, and you could add the DX to his thing. You're allowed to have 20 different countries for multipliers, and that makes a big difference on that. You might have to coach other stations to get their exchange. A lot of them will know their section number. DX stations can be told to use DX. You're going to find that a lot of people actually don't know their ARRL section number. Nevada or California has 9 different sections. We've got Sacramento Valley right over the line west of us. You've got LAX down in Los Angeles. You've got SDG down in San Diego, SF, San Francisco, and most of the coast going north to the Oregon border. Again, there's a whole bunch of these. In the information and that on the NV QSO website, or off getting it off the stars, there's a URL to get a list of the various sections that includes what counties, so that you can help people get that information. Okay, Arizona is also having their contest same weekend, and they will give you a report like K7UGH 59 Alpha Zulu Yankee Mike Alpha. That's Yuma, and that you can put the entire Alpha Zulu Yankee Mike Alpha in the logging program, the N1MM program. It'll take it. Pennsylvania also has serial numbers, and they'll give a report like K3PEN 123 ELK. They don't see PA ELK, they just see ELK. And remember that Elko County has the same three-letter abbreviation as that. So this is why we're putting the NV in front of it. Let folks know they're talking to the great, beautiful state of Nevada. You might have to ask the Pennsylvania whether they're EPA or WPA, whether they're east or west, or if you have the printed out the sheet that I mentioned, you can take a quick look when they give you the county and let you know which section they're in. One of the things we can do is a county line operation. If you set up your station within 500 feet of a county line, and I think we have one person here in the club that lives in Lockwood. He's within 500 feet of the Story County, Washoe County line. He can operate his two stations. And that you basically make two contacts at once. I picked on Barry, hopefully we'll get him out in the field somewhere. K6ST 59 NVWAS/NVSTO. That's for Washoe and Story County. If he goes up, sits up there on the county line on Geiger grade, this would be a great location to hit both of those counties and make a lot of people happy. Every county is bounded by at least one other county, and there's one 4-county spot available. It's the junction of Lyon County, Story County, Carson City, and Washoe County. There's a spot on Goney Road where you can actually set up. You're going to have to set up in the bar ditch to be able to do it, or hike up the hill a little bit and set up there. So there's one spot within 500 feet. There's another way to get to that 500-foot spot, but it pretty much takes a jeep to get there. In that case, K6SA 59 NVWAS/CAR/STO/LYO. When you do a combined like this, you only have to put the NV at the very first. The program will divide these up into 4 contacts and put the NV automatically in front. Okay, county line operations will generally be expedition, or if we have somebody driving around, mobile rover class. And we're really encouraging expeditions out to the remote counties around the state. I pick on the N1MM software because they've been very great to work with. And one advantage, it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. It's fully debugged. It's ready to go to do the logging for that. Once I get through with the PowerPoint here, we'll go through setting up N1MM for those interested, so you know how to do it. Other software may or may not work. I've had problems with a couple of softwares in the past. They don't seem to want to work with us because we're a little contest and that, so I really can't recommend them. We do not allow handwritten logs. My handwriting's bad enough, and trying to read somebody else's just does not work. So that we do have a opportunity. Bruce Horn, WA7BNW or BNM, the fellow who puts the great contest calendar apart. He has produced a website for us to be able to take your handwritten stuff and convert it into a formal Cabrillo log. And logs need to be sent in by the 1st of November. That gives you 3 weeks. and plenty of time to get the job done. Most people will have their login within 24 to 48 hours. Um, the folks that travel across the state may be a couple of days late just because they're traveling and don't have internet. If you only operate a couple of contacts, please send in a log. There's a lot of reasons for this. One, it gets you in the habit of sending in a log for contests. But the most important one is that the more logs we get is the more we can show on the website that that we have people actually working. Um, Last year we had about 70 Nevada hams call signs show up in the various logs from everybody else, but only about 30 bothered to send in a log. And when we put the results up, those 30's names got shown in the final results and that. So it didn't look like we had a lot of folks out there in the field where we really had a whole lot more. We're very little unusual in this contest, so we allow the use of repeaters. The main reason behind this is we're trying to get new people involved. A lot of folks only have a handheld or maybe a FM radio in their car and that. So we're allowing the use of repeaters and that. We kind of ask that you don't try to break into nets and monopolize that or monopolize a particular frequency. Limit yourself a few contacts, then move on to another repeater system and that. They all count the same. You're only allowed to contact somebody once, no matter which VHF, UHF band or mode or that you use. So you just, once you've worked them, they're done and that. Part of the reason behind this is some of our systems, like the current star system, some people will come in on UHF. The folks down in Yarrington all come in on UHF. So they're going to put a UHF frequency on their log, and you're going to put a VHF frequency because you're on 2 meters up here in Reno. And when I start to score the contest, it looks at that and say, those aren't the same contact. So we've set it up so anything in the VHF band, if it's on the same time and everything, to any other VHF band, it scores as one contact. And you can use linked repeater system. You can hit over half the counties in Nevada off the STAR system. And that's really good. But you can also use DMR, D-Star, any of those type activities, as long as you're basically starting with a radio. You notice I didn't put Echolink down here because I don't want you using your computer to make the contacts. You need to have the RF path initially to hit the repeaters and get up on the IRLP or D-Star or DMR. And with those folks, you're going to have to explain a little more. For VHF, UHF, elevation is king. You get up on top of a mountain, and it's amazing how much simplex you can run or how many different repeaters. Just getting up on Slide Mountain up there by the Winters Creek Lodge, you'll be able to hit repeaters down in the central part of the state. You'll be able to get into some of the ecosystem repeaters, and you get over into some California ones. So elevation is king for VHF, UHF. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to use the N1MM logger for most of it. It's free. and it works. John Bender, K3CT, has really worked with me, and we've done a great job making sure it's working. It has lots of functions, or you can make it as simple as you want. It'll also do rig control so that it knows that you're on a certain frequency and it logs it correctly, and it knows you're in a certain mode and it logs it correctly. So if you switch around, it keeps track of that for you. It's real easy to set up for just simple entry of QSOs. And I'll show that here when we get into using the program. All you need to do is put the call sign that you're talking to. It automatically fills in the 59 for signal report, and then you put in their section for DX. And the end of the contest, it turns out a beautifully formatted, properly formatted log with everything on it. And yeah, that's the price of admission right there, rather than trying to having to figure it out. It also generates an ADIF file, which you can use for Logbook of the World or for your general purpose logbook. So it does both of these without just by a couple of keystrokes. We have a website entry. This was put together by Bruce Horn also. It does some format checking and make sure your log is ready to be scored. This is really important. Before we had this, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks just to go through and make corrections on logs, starting with the name of the log. People wouldn't read the rules, and instead of naming it W6US.log, they would put my beautiful Nevada QSO log.text. And the scoring program does not like that and that. Need to have the call sign there. So the new web entry does that all very simply. And it automatically puts you on the logs received page. And this is important too, because you can see that, yes, we did get your log. It's in the system, and you can go about doing other things now because you've done everything and makes everybody happy. This is the same basic system that's used on virtually all major contests now. So we're right up there with the big boys. This is what the log submission page looks like. You put in your email address, very important. Your location during the contest. This will be either in state or out of state. Are you a single op station? Or you get a bunch of buddies come over and run the thing all night long for you, or go out in the field and have a big camping trip and like a field day operation, or that. Check log, I don't really worry about that too much. That's mostly used by the out-of-staters who really don't want anything further than just turning their log in to help score. Okay, are you going to be using mixed mode? It'd be like CW and single sideband or phone, CW only, phone only, or digital only. Now the digital, we do not use the WSJTX like FT4, FT8. Unfortunately, there were problems. We tried doing this a few years ago, but first of all, you almost couldn't complete a contact because everybody had to be in the same contest mode. And last year I did it, there was one log turned in out of about 200 some odd logs. So we just dropped it. We now have actually two classes for power. Low power, which is 100 watts or less, and high power is 100 watts up to the legal limit, which is 1500. We did away with QP again. Just there was no activity in the QRP ones, and actually, we really want people using a little bit of power at least to make contacts out of state from here, so people at the other end don't have to struggle and try to pull you out of the noise. Single and multi-transmitters. If you're just going to play with the HF, your HF rig will do good, but a lot of the HF rigs will not go up in the VHF band, so you'll have a second transmitter available on VHF. I usually have a mobile running on 2 meters, listening on 2 meters, and at the same time I'm running the HF rig. So if I hear somebody come up on 2 meters, I immediately switch over and make a contact on 2 meters, then come back and continue using the second radio or HF. Okay, a fixed station is your home station, or if you're using a somebody's fixed station somewhere else, I have my contest station set up out in Winnemucca. When I go out there, that's a fixed station because the antennas are permanently put up, and I just plug in and go. Home station, again, you're using all those great antennas you've worked on, and that. Expedition is pretty much anything else. Mobile is where everything is on the vehicle and you can actually transmit while moving. However, I do not recommend that. But you can pull to a stop somewhere and immediately start talking. You're not having to set up antennas. Once you set up antennas outside of the vehicle, you're now in expedition mode. We do have an open expedition mode that allows you to move around. I used it a few years back. I started out on the Humboldt-Pershing County line, worked the evening on that, moved down to the Eureka-Lander line down along I-80, made a bunch of contacts there, and then moved down and finished up on the White Pine-Elko line, and that is what's known as an open expedition. Okay, you can hit the browse button, find where you've saved your Curvillo log, and with a couple of clicks, you can add it to the program, and then you send it in. Once you hit submit log, there'll be another screen pops up, and it tells you one or two things. One, it says, you're successful, and you're done at that point. Otherwise, it may come back and say, we need an email address, or you didn't click what power you're running, or something like that. You can make the correction and then resubmit it and that. If you also find that you've made some mistakes, you can come back, do it again, and it'll replace the existing log that was in there with your new corrected log. So it makes it real simple to get a correct log put up. Please submit a log. Yes, they all help. It ends up showing the world that we've got people in Nevada and that. Also, with all the different categories we have, there's a pretty good shot of getting a first place certificate, even with only a couple of contacts. I believe our FM first place contact last year had 6 contacts and that. So anyway, that's a good place to, good reason to get it. We put the score in little tiny numbers and first place in big numbers on it, big letters. and that so it's suitable for framing and hanging on the wall in your shack, and it shows that you're a top-notch ham, and we it's kind of nice having something that shows off that you've actually done something. Also, if you can, upload the data, the statistics to 3830 scores. You don't send your login to them. All you do is send in, you had so many contacts on 80 meters, so many contacts on 40 meters, so many contacts in CW, so on, and that. That makes a lot of people easy. Since it's a month before we even start scoring it, and it's about 2 months till we actually get the results out, 3830 scores within a couple of days. We got a lot of good ideas who's done well and how they've done it. So it's a good opportunity to get up on the score pad there and brag a little bit. We usually try to get them posted on the NVQSO.com site by Thanksgiving or the end of the month. Thanksgiving's early, and we've been pretty good about being able to do that. Okay, is there any questions on the contest so far?
There's one on the chat that Jason asked. Are counties counted for and have hams working from?
Yeah, basically, I was just asking if all the counties have been accounted for.
Okay, when you go to the Nevada QSO Party website, let me pull that up here. Let's see here. I hadn't planned on doing that one, but
Like, I guess better yet, do all counties have hams in it? That
well, at the moment, no.
okay,
And that last year we ended up with 2 counties that did not have operations,
gotcha.
and that's it. We had a couple other counties that only had folks that came over from California to take over, and that. Um, but yeah, on the website there is a lot of let's see. One thing I hate about Zoom is it puts it across my ability to navigate.
Yeah, it should just be the plus mark right next to Zoom there. You want to open up another tab.
Yeah, I know that. However, Zoom has this meeting is being recorded
Yeah.
across where I normally have everything set up.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to bring it up. That's fine. No worries. I was just curious if all the counties had hams. I mean, I know the state of Nevada has quite a few, and if you're saying that first place last year only got a few contacts, that's not a very good indication that Nevada puts on a very good QSO party.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems. See if I can. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. And now I can come up here and okay, activations. It takes a second or two to load here. Okay, here's what we have so far. A couple of stations in Washoe, a couple in Clark, and one in Lyon. And that. So please go there, and if you're going to head out somewhere, or if you live in Story County, for instance, go ahead and put it up there. live in Carson City. So it really helps out. And
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, I live in Clark County, so obviously 7,700 square miles is a lot of hams, in southern Nevada. But I mean, it's not uncommon for me to go out and do a Parks on the Air, and if I can find maybe a Parks on the Air or something. And I the bad part is I run QRP, so that would be the bad part. But I also do the when SKCC has their K3Y event. I'm usually one of the operators for the Seven Land, so I may get out to try this, I guess.
well, very good, Jason. Thank you. And yeah, down there, actually, Lincoln County has been a problem getting that one activated. And that's not too far out of the county. I've been trying to get the folks in Mesquite down there to, because they're only a few miles out of Lincoln County, to be able to get in there and set up a good operation and that. Okay, let me do this. Okay, we're going to start up N1MM here. It's telling me I don't have a radio hooked up, which is correct. I'm not by the radio. And that. Okay, what we're going to do is kind of go through how to set up N1MM right now. Again, it's a free download. You Google N1MM Plus, and it'll get you to the download site and follow the instructions and it'll come up. Okay, the first thing you need to do, we're to config and make sure you set up your station data. Now here it is, my call sign W6US, address, and that. You need to know your grid zone, a 6-digit grid zone. You can put that in. It'll autofill the latitude and longitude once you put a grid zone in. For other contests, the CQ zone and the ITU zone are important. I generally just put the power. I don't worry about the antennas and a lot of this other stuff and that. ARRL section is important. NV for Nevada section. And the Rover QTH is grayed out because that'll fill from what we're going to do here in a minute. Your club, you're in the Henderson Club down there, Jason?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you'd put the Henderson Amateur Radio Club down there, and that way your club gets credit. Everybody needs to put their email address in, and then you would hit OK, and that logs it in. Next thing you do is come over here, and you're going to want to put a new log in your database. N1MM works for lots of contests. And so you got to scroll down here till you find QSO Party. Then the next thing you need to do is come down there where it says state for QSO Party and scroll down here till you find Nevada. Okay. I know that originally shows 7QP. That contest was last May. 7QP does not score it properly, so don't try to use it on that. First thing you'll check is operators. Are you a single op or a multi-op? And I'm using a single op. I'm an operator on all bands. We don't have any band breakout, but if you're VHF FM only, you're just going to be using a handheld and your FM mobile. You can check on that one, but the rest of us are going to use all. Power, I run low power. If you're running over 100 watts, you'd put high power. The mode, I pretty much just run single sideband. But if you're running single sideband and CW, you can do it, or you can just mark CW. Gives you all the options here on what you're doing, or FM if you're just using the handheld and the mobile in your VHF, UHF mobile in your car. We don't have any overlays, so you can skip over that. The station is fixed, or if you're out in the field, you're an expedition or a mobile. Those are the only three we really worry about there. Since this is used for other contests, some of these other classes are available, but we're just either running expedition, fixed, or mobile. We're allowing assistant. You're allowed to self-spot and all that if you want. If you aren't using it, I'd click non-assistant. We do not score on this basis. The only reason I would use that would be a potential for a non-assistants will take priority over an assistant station for a major award in a full tie. Transmitter. Again, as I mentioned before, you're probably going to be using at least two transmitters. Your HF rig and maybe a VHF, UHF rig. So you'd use two for transmitter and that. Actually, let me go ahead and put two in there since I'm going to be using two. Set exchange. Right now, it looks like I'm going to be in NV PER, Pershing County, Nevada. And this will also come up here to config and fill that in once I save this one. Operators, your call sign. Or if you're a multi-ops, put all your folks' call signs there in the multi-op. Soapbox, you can come back in at the end of the contest and put, fantastic, I work 786 stations. I have 4 new all-time new countries. It was a great contest. Or where is everybody? The solar blacked me out. I only got 3 contacts. So you can put something like that, or fun, or boy, I was set up at Walker Lake, and we had Bighorn sheep walk right down through our operation. You can put fun things down in there that we'll put in the soapbox and publish those bits of information for other folks to enjoy. So you click OK to save it. And all sorts of things are happening right now. Lets me know that I'm an in-state participant, ARRL section Nevada. And even though I'm a W, they considered K as the standard prefix for the US. So I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to get rid of some windows here. First of all, I'll move you back up where you belong. Because before I was using part of a network, I'll get rid of that one. And I'm going to get rid of a couple of these, and we'll come back and show you what they're all about here in a minute. Okay, this is your primary entry box. This is the one you're going to use for every contact. So you make a call. First of all, you want to make sure you're on the band. Let's say I'm on 40 meters. I can click there to change the band. And I can come in here and I worked W W6QJW. And I click over and it shows automatically fills the 5.9. I can click over here and he's in Sacramento Valley, or was. The little check mark shows that, yes, that's a valid section. And then I just hit enter and it puts it in the log. It's real easy to do and sets up. It automatically tells you you've done, pull that up here where I can see it. You've made one contact with one multiplier for 2 points. You're off and running. Okay. Now, at this point, I ask him, hey, do you got 2 meters? And he goes, yeah. Okay, I'll call you on 2 meters. Well, I need to change now to 2 meters. It does not show here. So I'll type 144,000. You put the frequency in kilohertz at the bottom of the band. I hit the enter. It now we'll do W6US again here. W6U or W6 friction QJW. I hit the space bar to move across. It now knows, because I've worked him before, that he's in Sacramento Valley. Check. Everything's check. Shows the new multiplier because it's in red. And I hit enter. And he's in the log. And showing the frequency now that I worked him on 2 meters. And I worked him on 70 centimeters. And if I expand the logbook out further here, I usually don't put it out too much further. Eventually down here, it'll show that it was a voice contact. There's room for contact. I'm going to shorten it up so I can have it here. It also, below the line, shows that, yes, I've contacted him on the second band. And both of them happen to be multipliers. So now the score is 8 points for 2 contacts. And that's how your score jumps up quite a bit. So let's go back here to 40 meters. And I now work W7XM. I get the 5.9, and he's in NV QSO. He gives me a Nevada, Clark County, and where he's located at, Tony's located. And we make the contact. I hit him, and he shows multipliers, and you see 2 multipliers here. One, I got the multiplier because he's for the contact on that band. The other one is the first one in Nevada. So that's why we end up with 2 on your first contact in Nevada. And that. So anyway, now the score's up pretty good. We've have a few in here. Score went up to 20 points with just 3 contacts. And that. And really, it's really, this is really pretty easy to use. And that. Now, there's a bunch of other windows that are kind of handy. Excuse me. One of them is a visual dupe sheet. You can see here, it shows that we're on 40 meters, and I have the 2 contacts that I've made, and that. Sometimes this is quicker than typing in the call sign again. If I type in W6QJW, see it telling me now on 40 meters voice, this is a dupe. So I can just either hit wipe or actually, if I'm tuning up and down the band, I tune off about 2 kc and it'll clear the map completely. But sometimes when you get a lot of signals on here, uh, sometimes it's faster than my typing skills to glance over here and I can see, oh yeah, yeah, I've already worked him. So that's kind of an easy way to do that. Other windows, there is a check window, and I got it up here. When I type in a call sign, if they're an active contester or in your history file or whatever, it'll show that. And of course, it's sitting behind the, let's see if I can get it. There we are. Pull it down. Let me put in a call sign here that I know it'll work. K3LR. Okay. Basically, it shows me some similar call signs. K3LR is Tim Duffy. He owns DX Engineering. He's got a contest station there in eastern Pennsylvania. You just won't believe. I've actually driven by and seen it. He's got more towers on there than a porcupine has quills. But anyway, but it also shows other potential calls that are nearby and possibly another one that can be the right one. Sometimes this is handy, especially if you got somebody that's behaving like a real contester. You know, he's being quick and sharp and good signal and all that. And you may not have copied his call sign correctly. It may show up as one of these. So you can ask again here, were you really K6LR? I go, no, I was K3LR. And it shows it. Once you've logged him in, he's EPA. And we'll go ahead and log him. And now he grays out. So the next time I come back and I hear somebody else with like a K3LR something or K something LR, unfortunately it went away, but it'll show in gray that I've already worked him and I may have a new call. So that's a kind of a handy thing to use. Another window that's handy is the gray line window. Move this out of the way. This shows where it's dark and where it's light. Quite often right now, Somalia, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Western Russia, and so on, I may have a better path going into them because of the gray line. And it's an opportunity maybe to pick up some DX. The distance across here, it's probably getting late in the evening for the folks in New England, so they're probably going to be starting to drop off just because it's bedtime and that. So it kind of gives you an idea. Also, it's hard to see on here, but all these contacts you've made will start showing up as yellow dots in there, so you get an idea where you're talking into. So if you're starting getting a bunch here in 4 land, 3 land, 2 land, you know that you're doing good in that area. Let's see here. Let's cancel. We'll just cancel it. Windows multipliers. It's always nice to know what you're doing. Come on here. Okay. You can set up a section state one. And this one here shows by call sign district all the different abbreviations for that. For instance, we come over here to 7 land, and yeah, you've got Alaska, Arizona, Eastern Washington, and that. You look at 6 land, and I mentioned the 9 different uh, sections in Nevada. There they are, all listed out for you. You notice they had some dark spots marked here. I've got Sacramento Valley uh, contact there on 40 meters and on 2 meters. So that's kind of handy to see what you need and where they are. You know, here would be Tim Duffy on 40 meters in eastern Pennsylvania in 2 land. The other one that's useful, window multipliers, counties other. Because you've set up right, you now have the Nevada counties all listed. And that can be a help. So far, all I seem to have worked tonight is Clark County. And there we go. So anyway, that's the basic setup on N1MM. There's lots of other things you can do in here. You can actually decode Morse code, band maps. If you're using, I'm not. That's why I won't show proper. It shows where all these contacts were, and or where you've heard ones. It'll also interface if you're hooked to a DX cluster, and it shows where other people are on. So you can go to there, you can click on the, I didn't like that. Here was screen share. You'd be able to click on one. These are grayed out because I already worked them. You can click on here and it'll pop up here on your screen. So there's just lots of stuff. There's more things you can do with N1MM that you can shake a stick at. They've come up with a new one now where you can basically type in a your operation, your CQ, CQ Nevada QSO, CQ Nevada QSO, W6US in Nevada, and I can save that under an F key. So every time I hit the F key, it would change that typed in to machine sounding letters. It would say W6US CQ, W6US CQ in Nevada. It would do something similar to that. And that's a new thing that's just come out. I haven't tried it yet, but about our 2 a.m. in the morning local time, sometimes it's nice to let the machine do the talking for you. Hi. So that's one of the new features on it. I haven't played with it, but it's more fun just to keep track of what you're doing score wise, which counties or sections you've hit, and that. So far, we've never had anybody hit every section. So far, we've never had anybody hit every county. So that's always the first. And that can be a lot of fun. Okay. Do we have any questions on N1MM now? You can unmute. Have I just scared everybody to pieces?
I think it was really good, Jim. Um, I'll just say that I think what Jim explained, which is centric to the Nevada QSO party, same concept applies to probably most of all the other contests. So thanks for those great tips.
Okay, one other thing too, I'll mention right now is you have a power failure or you just want to shut the computer down for the night. You can just click on that. N1MM shuts down and saves everything. So when I come back, double click on it again, it'll start up. It'll give me my warning about the fact I don't have a radio attached. But the screen will come up back and it may bring other windows that you didn't have up before may show up, but it makes it real easy to shut down and start up again. And that's really important. You don't lose anything if you have a power failure. Well, there's got to be somebody has some questions.
Yeah. Are you guys going to post the recording of this? So if I do have like questions about the programming, because I have to restart my computer to actually get in there and check things out. Are you going to post the recording?
Yes, Barry will have it up here in a couple of days probably, and it'll be on the SNARS website, snars.org, and there's a section that says videos in the upper right-hand corner of the main screen.
It says
go ahead and
YouTube. Yeah, it says YouTube recordings.
and that, and let's see here. Okay. Come on. Zoom likes to put a bunch of things if you're the presenter up on the top line and it messes you up. Okay, we'll bring it up. Right here, it says YouTube. And you can click on that and it takes a second or two to load. And it shows the most recent presentations and goes back a bunch of others. And you can look at lots of things there from the club. That help?
Yeah, thanks. Perfect.
Okay, and you can let the rest of the guys down there know about it too that didn't show up and that.
All right.
Uh,
Jason, he's talking to you.
yeah,
we had a few in there, but most of them it's very spread of as far as what people like to operate. You know, I mean, I know Steve. He's strictly a repeater guy. You know, just stays on the repeater, and that's okay. I mean, VHF, UHF. I like CW and QRP, so we'll see where that goes, and then you know you have a whole host of others. So
sure. One of the fun things with this is getting a multi-op together. Get a bunch of these other guys who never been on HF, get them in there, plop them in the seat in front, and say, "Okay, make a contact for 6." You're looking over their shoulder to keep them from, going out of band or going, "Holy, what the," and that. But it's just fun getting people on and that. It's like field day. People they'll be a little timid getting the first one. They'll be a little less timid on their second contact, and by the third one, you're gonna have to pry the mic out of their hands because they're starting to catch on and do it heavy duty.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I worked I did QRP field day from Desert National Wildlife POTA Park. So 4465, I think it is. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah, it was fun. I made like 35 contacts. I think it was QRP 5 watts. Actually, it was a little less than 5 watts. I think it was like 4.3 watts, but had a great time. And yeah, so I like getting out and doing stuff like this. I may see about Lincoln County. I was trying to see if I could do Lincoln and Nye be close, but that's kind of up around. It looks like it would be up around between Mercury and Armagosa, which is Air Force land. So I don't know that I'd be able to try to get close to those two counties within 500 feet of each other.
Yeah, there's spots there. The Lincoln, Nye, Clark County line, I believe, is within the nuclear test site, and it's probably not going to be a good one to go to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So some of them, we had a spot up here, which was Story, Washoe, and Pershing County, or Land County, um, and unfortunately, it showed up being on private property, and that we couldn't hit it. Some of the other 3 county spots are on mountaintops, so there you can get a soda operation in that.
Yeah,
And
definitely. I know one of the. So I went to Huntsville just this year. I went to Huntsville, and they said that Delta Mike 10, the grid score Delta Mike 10 is a very hard one for VHF, UHF, or SHF. So I think it's like Esmeralda County somewhere. Pretty much almost in the middle of the state, it seems. But they said that was a very hard one to work for, VHF, UHF contest.
yeah, that's Mineral County primarily, and that Mineral County's got a great spot to go, and that is Walker Lake. Free campground. You can set up right on the shoreline. The water is a little alkaline, i.e., conductive. You throw your radials out into with the vertical, you throw your radials out into the lake and up around behind you, and you'll put a booming signal into the East Coast. And I've been trying to get people there, and I've twisted arms, and it's just hard to get people to go to some of these places. Plus, you have a good opportunity to see bighorn sheep wandering through your campsite.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right. Well, very good. Okay, appreciate the information.
Sure. And anyway, it's just fun getting out. It's usually the weather's usually good on the weekend. We got the fall colors starting in a lot of the high country, and that there's a spot that I've operated from in the past that was on the Humboldt-Oco line, and the area around it has got a whole bunch of petrified wood. So, you can do some rock hounding. So you can do accommodation type trips. Some of them there's some fishing bought nearby. If you got a proper tags, there's some hunting and that. So you don't need to spend 724 on the radio. There's other things to do too, and enjoy the beautiful state.
I want to give a quick plug for the VHF, UHF, and repeaters because I think it's noble. I think this might be only one of the few, if not the only QSO party that does it. But many a times I've gotten on over the years and just work a bunch of guys on the repeater. Sometimes I'll get on DMR, talk to some of the country, and one here and one there. And I think, like Jim was saying, it's a way to be a good steward and get the word out. So it's fun, it's easy, and on VHF and UHF, you don't really compete with some of the other HF contests that are going on. Aren't there like 4 of them that weekend or something?
Yeah, there's 4 that we have: the Arizona, the Pennsylvania, and the South Dakota contest along with us. And again, that's part of the reason why we have the 5-digit county line, I pointed out the one there with Elk County in Pennsylvania versus Elko County in Nevada. So that's why. And basically, you're putting Nevada out in every single contact.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm real new to HF, well, I'm new to ham, period. But it was cool getting on my new transceiver and jumping in. I think they just had the Route 66 contest, and that was cool. Got to like fill out half the sheet and actually made some contacts. It was really exciting. So I'm excited about this. So
Well, cool. What new rig did you get?
I just got the little Zygu 20 water to just
Uh-huh.
get started. But yeah, and a couple ham sticks. We'll see what I can do with them.
Yeah, and that you put radials out on those ham sticks, and that'll be a big help in boosting your signal.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna try to make a dipole too. We'll see.
Yeah, even with
So,
the dipole, put radials out down below, it helps.
So I do at my QTH, my current QTH, where I'm in an apartment, I'm on the third level, so I got 30 feet below me plus maybe 6.5 to what I can reach. I do 2 ham sticks for each band, screw them together in a contraption, and they work well. Of course, the higher the frequency, the better. But I do well, and if I'm not at home here, I think it's a 15 or 18 foot pole, and they're a little bit directional. It's a single element beam, so you can have a lot of fun and work a lot of guys.
yeah, definitely get some experience anyway. See how stuff works.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here, motorhome. Not the one that's got it. Let's see, I'm looking for another picture here to show. And
Yeah, you got a bunch of stiff galvanized wire. Probably make some radials or something out of.
yeah, and um, it doesn't take too much to do that. And okay, that's why I'm not finding it. Yeah, I have an RV, and yeah, there we are. Let's see, where's it going? Okay. Let's see here. Where'd everything go? Now I've lost my. There we are. Sure.
Mm.
There we go. That's how. That's how I go. That's a 6 BTV trap dipole vertical, and I do real well with that. I'm using the chassis of the vehicle as being one radial for counterposing, and that was on the Elko White Pine County line. I believe that's Diamond Mountain over here in Eureka County, and I'm standing actually on the line to take the picture. So I say that works
All right,
pretty
cool.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots. I think there's lots I can play with for sure. But it's the
sure.
wife's birthday, so I better go show her some attention. I'm glad to see y'all. We'll talk to you on the air for sure.
Okay, Warren, thanks very much for showing up. Well, Gerhard, do I have you convinced to go out and have fun?
I don't know yet. This is all pretty new to me, and I don't have. I don't know. I think I need to watch and see some people do it first.
Go out, maybe go out with another person. You don't even have to go out. Go to their house or vice versa, and try a little bit. I won't be around. I'm down at PacificCon down in
Hmm.
the Bay Area, so I'm gonna have those guys talk back here. But once you do it, once you've tried it, a couple of contacts, even if it's on VHF, you'll get the hang pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. That that N1MM program is running on PCs only. That there is no
Okay,
Mac version, right?
that's correct.
Right.
Okay.
Unless you want to do what some Mac people claim is Mac, which really isn't, and run Parallels or Wine.
Yeah, yeah, and then you can't do that with some of the new chips anymore. And no, I have a PC also. It's not a problem. I'm bilingual.
Or it will run on Linux.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
The
anyway,
other
Bruce,
thing, yeah,
you've
go
been
ahead.
quiet.
I try to be. I try to listen more. I'm planning to go up to. I'm in Las Vegas, and I plan to go up to Mesquite and sit on the Lincoln Clark line and operate up there.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
So that'll be fun.
It will be. And that's a good location. And one of the things I didn't mention, but the picking your band right for the time of day. Um, basically 20 meters, 15, 10, during the daylight hours. Uh, early morning, late afternoon, 40 starts picking up, and that's pretty good. Late afternoon on 40 is generally when you'll work most of your Nevada stations, if you work any, because they've learned to get on at that time. And that I usually get a couple down there in the Las Vegas area, and then I get some in the Reno for being out in the center part to eastern part of the state. So yeah, you know, be frequency agile and have fun. And I like your stamps. I have a sheet of those
Just got a
somewhere.
sheet of those and put them in a frame last week, so I figured, well, that'll make a good background.
Yes. And Dave, I want to work you on all bands. Aha. Oh, cool. Yeah. Quite the stamp collection.
30.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you letting me crowd in on this. This was fun. I'm going to check out and call it a night. Thank you very much.
Okay, Bruce, thanks a lot. We do this on the third Monday of the month, year round, and various topics, and you're welcome to come up and join us.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, same here. I've got to bounce. Thank you very much. This was very informative. Have a good evening, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Gerhard.
Thank you.